with cheap people. So the minimum you should be charging is $1,000 a month. If your offer isn't working and people aren't replying to your emails and stuff like that, you're not pricing it too expensive. They're just not able to afford it, and you need to find people that are able to afford it. So figure out what you think is a fair amount of work for this. Don't be afraid to over deliver at the beginning to ensure I didn't mean to write YouTube, you get your clients results, because then they can get you on a retainer. You can find businesses that can afford this by just filtering the company size on LinkedIn. So I've talked about that in the client methods. IC Leads is great for this. There's a video in the course about it. Usually 11 to 50 employees on LinkedIn will mean they're a larger company. So you'll be able to filter by small and large companies, and you'll be able to see if they're doing well. If they have a very small social media following, they're probably not doing well. Or if they don't seem to have a lot of customers and clients, they're obviously not doing well. You should also try and charge commissions. Something like 5% can pay you well, and it shows the client that you actually have some skin in the game. So what I mean by this is, if you offer to write somebody a sales page and they are driving 1,000 people a month to that sales page, and that sales page makes them $1,000 a month. If you can get a 5% commission on that sales page, so any sales that go through that page, you get 5% of them, you're going to be making an extra $50 a month. Like, if you can include a royalty deal like this in your offer, you can have like a base of like $1,000 a month plus 5% of whatever sales. It's going to show the client that, okay, at least this guy's going to have some incentive, because the more money we make, the more money he makes. And if you want to offer a bit less, like if you want to offer $850 plus 10% of sales instead of $1,000 plus 5% of sales, it's just going to give the client more incentive to work with you, because you want to do well as they do well. And finally, if you want to get more clients, offer a money back guarantee, because this makes it very difficult for a company to say no to you. And if you can't deliver a specific result for them with your copy, refund them. That's the price you're going to have to pay for learning your trade. I've had to refund people before when I couldn't deliver on the job. I would say, okay, I can get you X amount of sales in the next 30 days, and I wasn't able to deliver it, so I refunded them. And then I realized, okay, email doesn't work for that particular type of client, so I'm not going to offer email to that client because it didn't work. I had to refund them, so I'm going to offer this particular client something else. So very simple. If you want to get more clients, offer a money back guarantee. You don't have to do this. A lot of marketing is unpredictable. You don't know exactly how much you're going to get back. So if you're offering a money back guarantee, it can be risky at the start if you're not very good at what you're doing, but you should be practicing every single day to get better at copywriting, so you can land people results and stuff like that. Because if you can't offer a very specific result to your client, then it's going to be more difficult, because a client wants to know exactly what they're going to get. Like, they want to know the return on investment with working with you. So if you say, I can make you an extra $1,000 in sales in the next 30 days with this copy, they're going to be a lot more likely to want to work with you, because you're giving them something very specific. And if it doesn't work, it's no risk for them. They get their money back. You've lost time, but you've realized, you've learned that offer doesn't work. I will see you in the next lesson, and thanks for watching.
Okay, so now that you have a basic understanding of how to create an offer, I want to show you a live example of an offer that's working right now from someone who actually pitched me. So it's very, very juicy. It's literally someone who's making money, and I'm going to show you exactly what their business does. So let's just get into it. Okay, so in this video, I want to talk about making YouTube content to get yourself clients for your copywriting business, right? And I'm going to show you this guy as a live example. Now, this guy actually pitched me. He seems like he knows what he's doing. He seems like he's making a lot of money. And the reason I know that is because I see the amount of clients he's had, and I've just heard some stuff, right? So guy knows what he's doing, right? Now, what this guy does, if we go to his website, this is an actual breakdown of somebody who is making money right now as a copywriter. And the reason I'm happy to share this is that I know that 99% of the people who watch this video will not actually take action on making a business like this. Like, I could show you this whole thing, but most people won't watch it. If you're watching, I hope you actually do something about it and actually go and make some money out there, but most people won't, so I'm happy to show this, right? So this guy is literally making money as a copywriter in public, making a ton of money because he has a YouTube script writing agency, right? And these are all the clients that he's worked with. He pitched me via cold email, and he shows all of the examples of his work. And he basically pitches you a couple of $1,000 a month on a retainer to write your scripts, right? And so it's a very, very simple process. So when you're trying to get clients with YouTube, right? This is something I've done before. I've also done it on TikTok. I basically make content that I know teaches something that people want to know. The content has to get views, right? And if you specialize in a certain thing, people will start to notice. So when I did it, I started making content back in the day in like 2020 on finance content for TikTok, because I knew nobody was doing that. And then if finance brands came to TikTok, they would want somebody to write their ads. And who do they go? They go to the guy who's got 400,000 followers on TikTok who does exactly that. He's obviously an expert because he's literally proven by the numbers that he has that he can do what we need him to do, which is get attention and get people's interest with finance on TikTok, right? And so this guy does the same thing. So he literally makes content teaching YouTube script writing, which is what he does. Everybody then can see that this guy is a YouTube script writer, and they can also see that his videos actually get views. 120k views, you know, these ones aren't getting as many. This one obviously is just a big performer. But like the fact that he's able to make YouTube content himself, if I were somebody who couldn't write my own videos or I couldn't make my own videos, this guy would be very appealing because clearly he knows what he's doing. Like, the guy clearly makes content. Maybe he makes it better than me if I'm a complete beginner. And so I'm like, okay, maybe I should work with this guy. And he sort of appeals to both beginners and to business owners in the way that he reaches out. So what I mean by that is this video here is for anybody who wants to write YouTube scripts. So that could be for complete beginners, so people who want to start making money as copywriters, or it can be business owners who want to make better YouTube content. Either way, this guy serves both people by selling like a YouTube script writing course, and then he also sells his agency where he'll just write the scripts for you. So he's got a sort of teaching you how to do it, or we'll do it for you. Those are two services he sells, right? And he sells them to different people because he's going to teach it. Business owners like me aren't going to want to sit through like hours and hours of content. We just want someone to do this for us. And so that's what he essentially is able to pitch through this, right? And so this is really, really valuable because this guy is showing you exactly, you know, like let's just break down one of the videos, right? I'll go to this one. This is how
AI optimizes my...
Go away, bro. This is why I pay for premium, YouTube premium. Not worth it. Okay, let's go in.
I've spent 10,000 hours writing scripts for some of your favorite YouTube channels, and I've generated hundreds of millions of views across the 7.
Okay, you see how like this content, I'm just going to break this content down a little bit for you. So he's making this for business owners, right? And immediately he leads with credibility. He's like, the guy you're watching right now has done a lot of shit. He's worked with businesses and I can teach you stuff, right?
100 videos that I've scripted. I've learned so many things over the years.
And he's learned lots of stuff. He's really knowledgeable, and he's about to share with you the 5 most important things
that has allowed me to become a top 1% YouTube scriptwriter. And
so if you're watching, like if you're a business owner and you watch like a 10-minute video from this guy, how much more are you going to like him and get to know him than if he just sent you a cold email? These guys on YouTube, the other copywriter YouTubers I see that like tell you to write 50 cold DMs a day on Instagram and reach out to people that way. It's like, if you expect to actually get clients like that, like you're in for a couple of very, very slow months. You're not going to make any money because nobody gives a shit about your cold DM. Like, people need to get to know you. Everybody has something to sell you nowadays, right? Every single business owner gets pitched 100 times a day. And it's very easy for a business owner to spend money and not make it back. It is very hard for them to spend money and make it back, which is why they're very protective over who they spend their money with. So I'm not going to pay you just because you cold DM me, because I have no idea why I should care. Whereas this guy comes up, I could just be scrolling YouTube one day and be like, not getting enough leads for my business through YouTube. Then this guy's like, okay, I can help you get more leads by scripting your videos better on YouTube. It's like, okay, I'm gonna learn from this guy. Then let's say I learn something from this guy's 10-minute video, and I see that he's worked with all these people, and then I see that he has all this knowledge, and I'm like, okay, this guy might actually be the guy. And then I reach out to him. I'm gonna be like such a warm lead for this guy. Like, this guy is gonna be able to convert me on a sales call much easier than if he just cold DM me, because I'm coming to him. He's not coming to me, I'm coming to him. So I watch his video and I go through his sales funnel. I'm not getting 100 DMs from this guy. Like, this guy did cold pitch me, right? But the only reason I responded was because I saw him on YouTube before, right? I didn't end up working with him because I had my own setup, but I wanted to speak to him because it was like, this is interesting. Even that level of interest is unbelievable. Like, if you're making content, right, and you're making it for the business owners that you want to work with. So let's say you want to go and write YouTube scripts, or you want to write TikTok scripts, or you want to write something, whatever it is, make content around it. Make content and reach out to people. Because then that's essentially what like Alex Hormozy, right? He talks about this a lot, right? Where he pays for ads. So this is the typical thing to do, right? Is a lot of businesses online just pay for ads, book calls, and then close people on their services, right? Let's say they sell a $5,000 service. So Alex Hormozy talks about it now, where he says that you pretty much have to be making content if you want to survive in this game, because he's like, people need to get to know you before they jump on a call, because people are getting to know your competition before they jump on a call with them, and if they don't know you, it's much less likely that they'll close. So you need to make content. Everybody I know makes content, right? And you don't need to make like 12-hour courses like I'm making, but you do need to make content that actually attracts your core customer, right? So I'll do a little whiteboard here just so I can make this more clear. Okay, so we've got our whiteboard here, right? So let me show you like why and how to use YouTube content. So let's go to our little pen. Okay, so let's say you have your funnel, right? This is pretty much how you're gonna set up your little copywriting agency or freelancer business. You're gonna have your, why is this so big, man? One sec. Okay, so we've talked about this before, right? So there's 3 sections to your business right now. Your little beginner business, right? You've got your traffic, which is people that you can send to your business that will pay you money. You've got your funnel, which is the sales funnel, the sales process that converts the people who are coming, who are walking on the street or they're on the internet. This is the thing that processes them from people to clients. And then you have your offer. This is the thing you sell. So if we were to break down that guy, Brian NG, his offer is, I think it's like 4K, right? 4K. And he will write like 4 YouTube scripts a month for you, right? So $4,000. His funnel is this is what I tell all my beginner clients to do in our coaching program, is I tell them to make a simple 1-page VSL funnel. It's just a little video, a little bit about you, and then a link to book a call, right? And there's a funnel set up through that, which, if you're watching this on a 12-hour course or anything, if you're watching this on YouTube, you're not going to have access to all of that stuff, because that's what we charge for. You know, we show you literally every nut and bolt that you need to build. We just show you how to build it all. We give you every template you need, and so that's pretty much it, right? So this is the website, this is the funnel, this is the offer, and then traffic, right? So this guy's doing multiple things on traffic. So most of these like YouTubers on about copywriting tell you like, just send DMs, bro, it'll work. But the problem is, like, nobody really gives a shit about your offer or your funnel until they know a little bit about why it's going to be valuable. So if you're making content already, you now have, basically people are going to see your content and your DMs. So you can DM them, and just like me, maybe I wouldn't respond to the DM unless I had seen him before. People get familiar with you and your face. There's a reason you like the artists and the TV shows and stuff that you like. And let's say you're scrolling on TikTok, right? You're scrolling through, you're getting all these random videos of people, and then a Family Guy clip comes up. You're probably way more likely to watch that clip because you're already familiar with it, because it's something you've seen and it's provoked a positive reaction in you before. Whereas if it's just a brand new video, it's going to have to work a lot harder. That creator or that show is going to have to work a lot harder to get your attention because you've never seen them before and you don't care and you don't have any trust in them. Because you as a person, and this is the exact same as business owners who you want to work with, they need to put their trust of their time into you if they want to, and especially if they want to pay you money as well. Like, it is a big commitment for people to trust you with their time and money. And so you need to be thinking outside the box here and not just sending cold DMs. Like the level of commitment it takes for you to send someone a cold DM is very low. Like the person I always talk about, like for client acquisition, right? I always talk about, putting in high levels of effort, because if you don't put high levels of effort in, why should I pay you a lot of my money? Like, if you don't even care enough to send me a personalized message or really put something together that shows me that, okay, if I hire you, you're actually going to do a good job. Because if I just see you send a cold DM, let's say I were to hire you, right? You're going to do a shit job because you can't even do your outreach at a high level, and that's to get my attention. So then when I'm paying you, how do I know you're going to actually do a good job? Like, I know you're not going to do a good job because I've never ever hired somebody through these cold DMs that people send, unless I've seen them make content or unless the cold DM is absolutely phenomenal. So it's very, very important that you understand this process. And this guy is absolutely killing it because he's doing content and he's doing DMs. He's probably doing cold emails, probably doing like 5 other things. But he's like, his main focus, first of all, is content and then DMs, right? And these are systems you can set up, and they're not like, you're not going to be working 14 hours a day to make these things, right? You can honestly, if you structure your life properly, you can do both of these things whenever you're building your copywriting business. And it's not going to, and like, yeah, making content, having your face in it, getting people familiar with you is going to make it easier. So if it's something that you have to get over, like a barrier, you just have to get over it. It's something I wanted to do whenever I was 16, 17, and I didn't have the balls to do it for years. And then when I started to do it, I felt it was difficult, and then I got over it, and now, I'm able to do whatever I want. And it's all because I made content, and I'm so glad I did. So that's pretty much it, right? This is a case study example of how you could get clients, like a live business is working right now. So yeah. We are now on to our final module, client conversion. The first lesson will run you through the fundamentals of sales so that you understand exactly how to convert clients, and I'll show you the underlying principles of this part of your business. Let's go. Welcome to the sales fundamentals lesson. This is part of our sales calls domination section of this program. And if you're watching this for free on YouTube, you should feel very, very lucky right now, because what I'm about to show you in this following few videos is genuinely going to be the skill that if you can just learn it, and it's really not that hard to learn, a couple of months and you'll be an absolute baller at this. If you learn this, you will literally, this is a promise I can make to you, right? I don't make many promises like this, but if you become good at sales, you will never ever struggle to make money again in your life. That is a guarantee. Promise. No doubt about it. If you can sell shit, right? There's always people on the internet who want people to sell things for them. Especially if you're going to be selling for yourself here, which is what I teach you to do in your own in this program, is that you sell your own services. So if you have a service that you can package up and price and you have full control over what you're selling, if you're able to just sell that, like, people are going to buy it from you because it's you, because they like you, right? So let's just get into the sales fundamentals. So in this lesson, we're just going to run over a couple of the following key ideas, right? So firstly, we're going to talk about the main principle behind sales and what that is and how you need to understand it. Then we're going to debunk common sales myths, because everybody teaches sales nowadays and half of them don't know what they're talking about because they're not making any money. Then we're going to understand your ethical role in sales, because what I'm about to teach you is so powerful that you have to actually use it correctly, because if you don't, you'll end up like the Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah, you can make a lot of money, but you're basically not very morally sound. And then we're going to talk about a clear structure for effective sales calls. So you need a clear structure. You can't just run into calls. My first ever calls, I was like, I didn't even have a script. I didn't even have questions. I didn't have anything. I just kind of winged it, and it did not go very well. Then we're going to talk about the one call close concept, because you do not need multiple sales calls, especially if you're selling copywriting services like cheap services. Realistically, you're not selling like $100 million deal to Microsoft. You don't need more than one call. Like, to sell something for 5K or 1K or $500, you don't need to take more than one sales call. It's not needed. So we're going to show you how to do this. Essential reminders for continued growth. So it's obviously important that you can sustain your abilities in sales. Now, the core idea of sales. Uncovering this principle was the turning point in my sales journey. It's what explains why people make purchases, not just for big services like marketing packages, but in almost everything in life. The key factor: people buy because of pain. This is the core idea of sales. So to break it down, and then I'll give you some examples, right? Our brains are wired to avoid pain. Literally everything you do, the reason you're watching this program is because you don't want to do this by yourself, and you probably haven't done a whole lot of actual action on building your copywriting business already. So you're watching a course because you want to learn how to get better, because you want more certainty in that what you're going to do is the right decision, right? You're avoiding pain. And if you've bought my program, which is a phenomenal decision, you understand that there's probably to be honest, minimum 6 months to years of pain where you don't know what you're doing. And if you just bought a program that teaches you every single thing, you've made a phenomenal decision, because you're just skipping all that pain, right? And so that's why people buy. There's a reason you bought. You were in a position of pain. You weren't happy with how things were. And this product is a bridge between that pain point and where you want it to go, which is building a 10K a month copywriting business that allows you to do whatever you want. And so to break it down, our brains are wired to avoid pain. Most of the decisions people make are about moving away from discomfort or frustration. And when someone is ready to buy from you, it's likely because they believe your product will take them away from some pain they're facing. They want a way out of their current struggle, not a way into a product. Let's deep dive into how this works to understand the psychology behind effective sales. So, how awareness drives sales. So there are a few stages that customers go through as they become aware of their needs. Firstly, they'll realize there's a problem or an opportunity for improvement. Next, they'll begin to feel that things could be better, which creates a sense of discomfort in their current state. So it's the fear of missing out. It's like the worst thing about, let's say you're taking a little couple of months and you're going to do some monk mode. The worst thing about it is whenever you see everybody else out partying and enjoying life, and you're like going through this really difficult period of training. This is essentially how sales. This is how you're sold on the idea of going out at Christmas whenever you've done your hard months of monk mode, because you're like, everybody else is doing this thing. I'm not having a good time right now. I need to go out at Christmas because it's going to make me feel better, right? It's just an example. So this process triggers a desire for change, often turning a feeling of pain from staying in the same place into a good feeling, right? So I just want to make sure that I'm going through this correctly. Yeah. So, I want to give you another example. That's why I came back, right? So why do people buy anything, right? So I talked about it in the example of why you might have bought this program, or even if you're watching this for free on YouTube, I appreciate you watching this. The reason you clicked on this video is because you didn't, and especially if you're watching this far, this is probably like 8 or 9 hours into a course, but the reason you're watching this far is because you're in a position of pain right now and you want a solution, and I'm giving you that solution for free. Even though I'm giving it to you for free, you're still paying for it with your time, and you're aware that, like, okay, I'm actually spending time on this and attention, which is worth money, and so there's some way that I've persuaded you to believe that this is worth your time, right? And it is worth your time. And the way I've persuaded you is by saying, hey, look, you want to build a business? Here's a full training. Go through it. This is every single part of the business that you can imagine. And you've obviously gone through it and you were in a position of pain. You're like, I didn't really know what to do to start a business. And now you know all kinds of stuff. You know how to sell, you know how to write, you know how to get clients, you know how to build all this stuff out. And the reason you first clicked was because you were in a position of pain. Think about where you were maybe 9 hours ago before you started watching this course, or I don't know how long ago you started watching this, but think about the position you're in. You're like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm overwhelmed. I see all these videos about copywriting. Everybody's telling you different things. I don't know what to do. And you're like, oh, a 10-hour course. Unbelievable. You know, and that's literally why you bought with your time. It's because you felt it would take you out of that position of confusion, discomfort, pain, not liking your current situation, and you know that actually learning how to do something like this is going to get you to that place. And so yeah, there's loads of other examples. Like if I think about, I live in Dubai, right? So this is the most capitalistic place on the planet. I could not tell you that enough. Like if you ever come here, it's just one big shopping mall, right? So let me think of a product. Let me just look out here. Okay, this Apple Watch. Why did I buy this Apple Watch? What pain would I have been in before I bought the Apple Watch? Well, I needed more certainty around basic shit that I was doing. I felt I didn't look cool enough when I was running because I didn't have an Apple Watch. I felt I couldn't track my runs, which was important to me because I felt, okay, I want to get better at running. And then I could really dive into the deeper pains of why I wanted to get better at running, why I wanted to improve my numbers and all that sort of stuff. It's probably because I'm just like, oh, I want to be faster, I want to be better. I'm a very competitive person. And so it's like, I dive into the reasons why I purchase things, and I'm always constantly looking at why other people are buying things, because if you understand that, you start to really develop a good skill and a good sort of mindset for selling, because you're like, people buy, okay, like I'm just constantly observing all the time. Okay, why did he do that? Why did this person make that decision? What was the reason for that? Okay, cool, interesting. And then it gives me some little idea for business. And that's how you should be thinking as well. You should be constantly looking at every single product the person buys. Why are they buying it? Oh, I'm hungry. Okay, I'm going to go to Starbucks and get a fucking brownie and a coffee. Oh, I need this. Oh, I need this. People are constantly in pain and they're constantly buying. It's very easy to spend money. This is literally a lesson, not so much related to sales. This is more of a general business lesson, but it's very important. It is very easy to spend money. Making money is hard, right? Everybody likes to spend money because they're in a position of pain. And basically you need to focus on building a lean operation. Anyway, I'm not going to go off on a tangent, but people love spending money because they're constantly in pain and they constantly want the easiest possible route. Even business owners, even people making tons of money, even, you know, people who just, you think, oh, this guy's so tough and he knows what he's doing, like he's a big businessman. It's like, no, he's constantly buying things because he wants his life to be easier. You have to do difficult things in life as an adult, but if you're able to buy your way out of a lot of problems, which people do as they make more money, people are going to do that because they're naturally inclined to do it. So sales is all about bridging the gap between pain and their desired outcome. I am hungry. Eating a sandwich would make me not hungry. The bridge is somebody needs to sell me a sandwich. Boom. Sales. Done. Right? We talked about awareness. I can go deeper into that later in the program. Now, let's talk about the role of a sales call. A sales call helps the customer understand how their own situation affects them and what they would like to change. And so here's how to guide them. You clearly outline where they are now and where they want to be. Then you position your product or service as the solution which will take them to their desired outcome. For example, imagine a person stuck on an uncomfortable rock but looking across to a better one they wish they could reach. If someone offers to build a bridge, making that journey possible, they'd likely pay for that service. This is the value you're offering. Your service is that bridge. So let me give you an example in copywriting terms. Let's say you're going to start a YouTube content writing agency as a copywriter. Why would people buy that product? Well, I can tell you from examples because I know lots of people in this space who need copywriters to do this stuff. And the reason is because they're spending too much time or they're not that creative, and that causes pain for them because their desired situation is that they get 4 YouTube videos out a month. They're in a position of pain because they don't know how to do it, or they don't have the time, or they don't want to. And so the bridge is that you create a service where you will do that for them for some money. And so they pay you to build that little bridge, and then it gets them from a place where they're making no videos a month, or they're doing it and they hate it, to a place where they're putting